Hey everybody, welcome to Forge Narrative. This is our Monday webcast. My name is Paul Murphy. I'm joined tonight by Juice.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Got Rob Bear and Kenny Boucher.
Hi, everybody.
What's going on, everybody?
Oh man, just another beautiful Monday.
We are hot off the heels from our summer seasonal.
Yep.
We did it.
Started out by giving a big shout out to everybody. Thanks for showing up. And congratulations to all the finishers, first place and second, third, and the TPM's Choice Award winner.
Yeah, man, I want to give a big shout out to everybody that came, and thanks for being supportive. It's certainly nice to see everybody playing. It was that was a really nice broadcast table there. I like that snow realm battle in the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cinematic.
Yes, it was pretty cool.
Looked good on the camera. So, Space Wolves, right?
I'm literally making Space Wolves right now. Like I couldn't stop all day.
Yeah, I mean, I was looked over the codex too. I think there's some interesting things in there. I do like the fact that if you basically get the exact army that you were taking before, you have like 150 points left to spend.
Yes, that's always good.
So that's kind of nice. There's some things that are kind of weird, like you can't arm your Terminators the same way anymore, and that's kind of interesting. I wonder if that's really by design or if that's just the way the codexes are going to shake out now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of curious as that as well. This is the first time that we've seen a massive restriction of Terminators like that. Like normally they don't break it down that way.
Yeah,
So,
like you can't have a Chain Fist and a Storm Shield on a Lone Wolf anymore. You can't have Power Axes and Storm Shields on the Wolf cards.
Yeah, no, it's very limited on if you go down the Storm Shield road. You've only got three options. It's a combi weapon, it's a Thunderhammer, or actually don't have it in front of me. I think it's a Power Sword.
It's not Power Sword. You have to give up the Power Sword, I think, to get it. It is a Thunderhammer.
Oh, okay.
Thunderhammer combi weapon is something else. I'll bring it up too.
Awesome. While you're doing that, we've got quite a few people tuned in. I just want to give shout outs to everybody. Solo Falcon, Aaron, Johnny Watkins, Keegan, Chris, Sean, Sean Bailey, Evan S. Evan, great to hear from you. I see Lamont, our boy Jay Troop, Southern Wargaming, Steve Bruley. Appreciate it, guys. We'll get to everybody's question in just a second.
Yeah, and I'm not saying this is bad. I'm just saying that this is the way it is now. That's the reality we live in now. That some of the things that you were maybe doing in the past, specifically with the Terminator options, is no longer an option. Like I know for one that I use Power Axes and Storm Shields on my Wolfguard Terminators very successfully in a couple of tournaments.
Yeah, I like a Lightning Claw, or and a Thunderhammer, or in a Storm Shield. Like I like mixing it up.
Wolf Claws.
A Wolf Claw, yes.
I don't think you mean Lightning Claws. I'm of course giving you a hard time, and I'm more pointing out the fact that like everything's Wolf or Fang.
I was about to say it's actually called Murder Claws.
Well, there are Murder Claws too. Let me go ahead and pull. This is my only this pet peeve. All right, the Tempestus Discipline. Tempestas, spelled differently than the Tempestus Scions, or Militarum Tempestus. Both mean storm, spelled differently. And this is the problem that you run into when you're making up words. All right, so
there it is.
That's it. Like I can't be the only one that's noticed that.
So Solo Falcon also noticed something. He says, does anyone notice that the logo, when blurred before the swarm, looks like a greening skull, a grinding skull with brown eyes?
We did that on purpose. So, Kenny, you said you've been building some lists?
Oh,
sorry, I muted myself because I'm typing like a beast right now, like looking through my reference material and stuff like that. Yep. The first thing I always do when a codex comes out that has something to do with our Super Friends list is I figure out how to make it into our Super Friends list.
Yep.
And I have successfully done that, I think, on a whole new glorious level that is taking our list to a new place.
I'm listening.
So right now, discover for me real quick. Okay, refer to the Iron Priest section of your book. Something new. This is new. Iron Priest is 55 points. He's 1 wound. He's basically a Tech Marine, right?
Right.
And as we know, Tech Marines basically suck. They're awesome because they bolster defenses. They have Thunderfire cannons. They have all this good stuff. They got, whatever, plasma cutters, but they are basically going to get killed because they have 1 wound,
It depends on the war gear they can get, but Space Wolves, Tech Priest have typically sucked.
So Iron Priest now, he can take a Thunderwolf. That gives him 2 wounds right there. Right out the gate, he's toughness 5, 2 wounds. Here's something else interesting to note about Space Wolf Tech Marines. They have a Thunder Hammer and a Servo Harness. AKA, they have 2 specialty weapons.
Okay.
So right out the gate, he's got 2 attacks, 3 for having 2 close combat weapons now.
Are you sure that his Servo Harness doesn't attack like a separate profile?
That's not a thing anymore. That's not how Servo Harnesses work. Servo Harness is just a weapon. Yep. So basically, on a Thunderwolf mount, he has 4 strength 10 attacks with a Thunder Hammer, 5 when you charge him or when he charges you. Strength 10. Right? He has and here's something new. He can take Cyber Wolves as his buddies, but he could take 4 of them. So there's a huge boost here. Cyber Wolves are 4+ armor save, man. That's a huge force multiplier when you're talking about how we used to stack Fenrising Wolves into our Super Friend unit.
Yep.
These guys have a 4-up with Feel No Pain now. They're like Bolter immune like half the time. So that's pretty crazy. So that whole combination is 165 points. You're getting an infusion of 6 wounds to the Super Friend squad.
That's very strong.
5 strength 10 Thunder Hammer attacks, and a 2+ save, and 2 of them are 2+ save.
That strength 10 is nothing to seize at here in this codex.
And I think it says base profile, doesn't it?
What's that?
I don't want to get ahead of myself. Does it say Thunderwolf mount increases your base profile still?
I don't think it says specifically that it increases your base profile.
No, if I'm not mistaken, when I read it, it was +1, and then it listed +1, 2, and listed strength, toughness, wounds.
Yeah. It is, in addition to model upgrade, have Thunderwolf mount increase their strength, toughness, attacks, and wound characteristics by 1.
Oh, so yeah, you change your characteristic, yes. Yeah,
these bonuses are already included in the profiles of the models that have Thunderwolf mounts as part of this standard war gear.
There you go. So here's the list I'm working on right now. If everyone out there on the internet who's familiar with our Super Friends list, it basically is Khan and a Chapter Master with a Super Command Squad, some Tactical Marines and Rhinos, Stub Stalkers, Thunderfire Cannon, and we introduce some amazing characters in the Space Wolf Codex through Ally Matrix. We can't do that anymore because they took away our double HQ. So we have to go. Sorry, Space Wolves. We have to go multi-cat now. What I've done here is I've immediately dropped down our White Stars Army. I've immediately dropped down the 2 Tactical Marine squads to 2 Scout Squad Land Speeder Storms with Kami Meltas.
Very strong.
And Melta Bombs. Dude, it can infiltrate and scout. It really helps get that
I've been preaching that since it dropped.
Yes. You have me now. I think it's one of the best. Anytime you think you're going to put 5 Space Marines in a Rhino, just stop and do this instead.
Yeah.
It's better. So I've immediately dropped and saved a ton of points by doing that. I'm taking the 2 Stalkers still. I've had to drop the Thunderfire Cannon. I've always said I was going to drop it one day. I dropped the Thunderfire Cannon, but I still have everything else I want. Still have the Stallion who mounts the world, Bike Lord, or Bike Chapter Master, have Khan.
That guy, he's so good. He really is still so good.
So good.
Chapter Master. Yep.
Still have the Apothecary, still the Command Squad. I take Meltas now because I think Meltas is a little bit stronger right now in 7th edition. So the whole squad has Melta Guns and Melta Bombs. There's 2 Storm Shields integrated, or 3 in my list, et cetera, et cetera. It's awesome, right? So now what I've done is I've gone to Space Wolves over here, snagged up the Wolf Priest, because they fixed the Wolf Priest. The Wolf Priest just has preferred enemy now, and he picks what type of unit it is against. So as long as one model has preferred enemy, you all have it. So the Wolf Priest has preferred enemy, gives it to the squad. He has a bike. He has runic armor. Oh, I can see. I didn't realize I had integrated this into the points. I currently have this in the points, but I think I can play for it better. I took that super murder fang weapon that gives them like +3 attacks. That's strength 72.
Are you talking about the relic?
Yeah, the relic.
Let's talk about relics for just 1 second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Have you looked at that sword that basically you take the string test?
Yes.
Yes. What is it? The frost blade or something?
It's the frost fang murder dagger of ice.
It's basically 2 good swords. One of them gives you +3 attacks when you're outnumbered, and it's +2 strength AP2. The other one is +1 strength AP3.
Oh my lord! It is actually called the Fang Sword of the Ice Wolf. I almost nailed it just by making it random words.
Nice. I think I actually have him with the super sword right now. I don't know if I want to keep it because I think if I tweak the points, I can get another Landspeeder Storm.
Okay.
But as it stands, I have this Wolf Priest with a bike with 2+ save with the super murder fang sword, combi melta. I have 3 Iron Priests with Thunderwolf mounts and Cyberwolves because now Thunderwolf mounts can join squads just like normal.
And they all have 4 Cyberwolves?
They all have 4 Cyberwolves.
I think that's going to be pretty strong.
I have
being able to join.
I have added 12 models to the Super Friend squads with 12 Fantasy Wolves, but I've also added like 15 Strength 10 attacks.
That's annoying.
I've added 6, or I guess to our normal list, actually added like 3 more 2+ saves. And obviously now I have to take 2 troops. Now Blood Claws matter to me. I'm all about Blood Claws again because they're cheap now. Like before, they were the same points as the Grey Hunter. Don't take them. And now that Grey Hunter's lost a step, I find myself just throwing 5 Blood Claws in a Rhino because 5 Blood Claws in a Rhino is 95 points.
Yep.
So 3 Iron Priests with 4 Cyber Wolves each on Thunderwolf mounts. This Wolf Priest with 2 save a bike, the Murder Fang, Beast Mode sword, Combi Melta. I have points actually for like I think 2 more Combi Meltas. I think I can give everyone a Melta, so I end up having like this Alpha Strike unit with like 8 Melta gun shots stat preferred enemy. But basically I have about the same amount of objective secure. I had to lose the Thunderfire Cannon, but I think I've made the Super Friend squad more ridiculous than it's ever been before.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, adding that many more models and that many Rune Priests, everything else, and preferred enemy, you're not banking on any psychic abilities?
Correct. Because it's the Chaplain model and the Tech Marine model, essentially. So no psychic powers, just going for preferred enemy, which I think works really good when you have a bunch of things that are hitting on 3s constantly.
Yeah, and I'm liking that. And then let's not overlook Ulrich.
No, Juice and I have a whole other list that has him in it. We're working.
Ulrich, whenever I picked up the book, like I fell in love with him.
Let me pause for 1 second. I do want to get shout out a rest in peace to Robin Williams.
Yep.
Have you guys heard about that?
Yes.
That is, he's by all accounts one of us, nerds and gamers. That is.
Yep.
Will be missed, and I'm pretty sure that I introduced Rob and he's not here. Is that true?
No, he was here whenever you.
Okay, that's right. It's like I just wanted to look down. Like, oh man, I've had some cold medicine tonight.
There we go. Now, I got a little beer here. I just poured out some for our homie. Robin Williams, he was definitely my babysitter and grandmother for a while with that show. What was
Mrs. Doubtfire, and then
Mrs. Doubtfire. Mm-hmm. Man, taking me back. But to bring it back some, Keegan wants to know Logan's sled, good or bad? TPM, what you think?
It seems bad.
I don't like the sled. I mean, I guess what it is, it doesn't give him that much value, and there's no provision for him getting out of it. So it seems like a liability. Am I wrong? Can he dismount in the rules?
No, he cannot dismount. He actually, and what I actually do not like about it is Logan himself has no special abilities, basically. He is just a 250-point dude that's got, he has special rules underneath it, but there's nothing that says, if you take Logan, you get to do this, 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 and this. He's just his stat line with his strong sword, his strong axe that can be swung at, obviously, a higher initiative or dual-handed at a lower initiative. But no, I am not a fan, and I don't think there's a lot of value for 320 points, if I'm not mistaken, for Logan to be honest led.
Yeah.
Not whenever you can have so many. Not when everything else in the book got cheaper.
Yep.
So Christopher Morgan wants to know: do you guys think that this Grey Knight stuff is legit? Seems like an old release.
It's good. I mean, I think it's legit. I think that everything we've been seeing is legit.
I think it is, and I think that's a way because we saw that the Inquisitorial Codex got updated to basically take out the teeth of Kodiaz, some of the value of Kodiaz.
Correct.
And I think that they're moving towards that, and I don't know why they've chosen to fix that because it's weird. Like, to build henchmen, you really have to buy double the amount of kits. Like to build good henchmen, like you can't go out and just buy a henchman kit. You got to buy like 2 Empire kits and a IG kit, and man, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me. But I guess we'll see where it comes. I think they want to put the power armor back in the Grey Knight list. And I think they want to sell a lot of Dread Knights, and so we'll probably see like 2 or 3 Dread Knight formations.
Oh man, I'd love to see some objective secure Dread Knights.
Yeah, I'd like to see some. Like I don't know. You see, there's all kind of Knight formations that are going to come out. I mean, they're going to push these big models. Yeah. But hey, I'm not saying that's negative. I like seeing them on the table. I like playing with them.
Yep. 100%. Rob D is just tuning in. This is first webcast. Thanks, you are typing in the right box, so put your questions up.
Welcome to the show, man. Chandler Douglas asking, what are our thoughts on the, very limited Eternal Warrior options? Yeah, that's rough, man. I'm trying to find a reason that the Wolf Lord is like going to be cool, and I cannot find a reason.
Yeah, he's gone. He has disappointed me.
Yeah, we've got Death Riding something, or Death Wolf, Death Fang, or something his name is. And he's a unit.
Oh, Harold Deathwolf, Los Lobos.
Yeah.
Yep. So here's something. Did they decide that Space Wolves have their own counterattack still, or do they just have counterattack now?
It's just counterattack.
So that means they finally confers to the Super Friends as well.
Yeah. If it says all models, then yeah.
Well, no, yeah. In the rule book, as long as one model has it, the whole unit has it. But Space Wolves had their own wording that said all Space Wolf models have it.
No, I don't think that was the case. Previously in 6th edition, it just didn't apply to the whole unit. It was a singular model, or the model had it.
I don't think that's the case, but I don't have the rulebook handy because where's Rob?
We're lost without you, RB. Please come back.
Shaw's asking how we feel about Matt Ward leaving Games Workshop. Man, I mean, writers are going to come and go, and I feel like he pushed. Some of his stuff was a little too cut and pasty for me. I don't care about the power level. I care about the variety, and I'm not saying that he should go or anything. I definitely like the codexes. Blood Angels was good when it came out. We won major tournaments with it. Grey Knight's obviously strong.
Oh yeah.
I will miss Matt Ward because I took it as he was the bad guy in the room, and I always wanted to root for him. Everybody always loved to hate on Matt Ward for making too strong of a book, too strong of this. He did this, so we will miss having him.
Between him and James Swallow, they basically tried to murder the Blood Angel fluff, and I will have a dark place in my heart for them for that. But I will say James Swallow has redeemed himself, and I'm looking forward to Matt Ward to resurrect and redeem himself as well.
There we go. So Southern Wargaming wants to know, any chance that the Space Wolf Champions supplement will allow Logan Wing to return?
They're going to print these supplements to the end of time. So yes, it would basically be foolish to rule anything out. We would have never ever guessed that we would have spawning gargoyles or all these, or the Green Tide legal in 40K and that kind of stuff. I think we're going to see, or 5 Hellbrutes or whatever. We're going to see it.
Man.
Don S. wants to know, can Lone Wolves with Fenrising Wolves go into a pod since it's one unit, and the Lone Wolves are infantry?
No, I think Lone Wolves are infantry, but Fenrising Wolves are beasts. They're cavalry. So those are not allowed in those transports. We basically had to dissect this the other day during the.
I was listening to that. I'm like, just go to the ruling. Just look up jump pack. It's going to tell you everything you need.
It's actually not under jump pack. It's under main rulebook under transports.
So Aaron's leading a little light on it. He says, main rulebook, if any unit contains at least one model with this special rule and the unit is charged, every model with the counterattack special rule gets +1 attack, so it does not confer.
So yeah, that's what it said in 6th edition. I don't know what it says right now, but that's what it said in 6th.
Yes, that's what it's always said. The reason Space Wolves couldn't do it is because they had a dumb little like caveat to theirs where it said like all Space Wolf models with counterattack when charged. Like, and then in the FAQ never addressed it. So it never changed. They had a caveat to it, and and I just searched through the whole document just now, and that caveat has been removed. So yes, now our super friends have counterattack.
Yeah, hey Jake, I agree with you. The Grey Knight rumors. I mean, I don't want to say that they're like we just have basically a glimpse of what's going to be there. I think there's going to be some bite and some fluff in there. It's going to be nice, but yeah.
But gray is not red.
Yeah, gray is not red. That is bring up a nice question. We need Blood Angels, and I tried to cool people out on the Facebook today. I'm like, hey man, Codex Creep, we might benefit from that.
Yep. That's true. If we get the newest Codex, man, does anyone have their cell phone handy? You see what happened to Robbie B. Lost in the Warp?
Yep. I'll track him down now. Bjorn and nothing but dreadnoughts for Unbound list. 6 to 9 dreads and drop pods. All with 3-up saves.
Man, I'm all about a dreadnought with a 3+ multiple.
With a blizzard shield.
The blizzard frost fang shield.
Yep.
Up wolf, hungry like the wolf.
Yeah, Paul, it's working. Sorry, we doing some list talking, so it took us a little bit. We're banging through them all now.
Yeah, I think Ender said he was going to try to kick it tonight. I don't know if he's on or not, but he was at the tournament. Yeah, I think he got 2nd place. Congratulations to him as well.
Yep, way to go, Ender. Playing a little Satan action.
Yeah, Ed Black jumping right in there with a question that's near and dear to us. He said, Rhinos and drop pods are listed as fast attack, not just dedicated transports. Does this mean I can buy a pod and put units in it that normally don't get the transport? I would love to put Space Marine Centurions and Space Wolf drop pods. As a matter of fact, I did that on Saturday night. The answer is yes.
Yes.
Yep. Momentarily, we will be unraveling and unveiling this disgusting list that Kenny and I came up with.
And let me tell you though that the Centurions in a pod did exactly like you expect them to do. They came down. I happened to get a Librarian. They got perfect timing on them too. So I put the 3 Centurions and Librarian in a pod and just owned a quarter of it.
Like, dude, essentially every time I make a list now, even if it's not a Space Wolf list, but I'm playing like Space Marines, I find points to snag up a drop pod from Space Wolves, so I can put Centurions with a Gorgon Chain Guy in it.
Yeah, that's strong.
It fits perfect. You put you use Clan Racking, it just drops in. Just one drop pod is all you need. I mean, like, change everyone's life. It'll change your world. Like,
if I could just get a bike in a drop pod.
Oh my god! But like, we were at a space with these 3 spot taking up fatties.
I don't think you can put a bike in a drop pod anyway.
No, you can't. You can't. But
all right, so Lamont's got a question. He says, "Do you guys have an episode in the archives where you go over the amount where you can go over the amount of negativity tied to the game and how you manage to stay above that?"
That literally every episode, I think we do that through example, but we don't.
I think so. And I don't want to say like we don't get frustrated with stuff in the game, but it's all just part of the game. Most of it's just part of the game. And honestly, if you just kind of like realize that you're going to encounter XYZ thing, and play around it, play to it, play it, whatever, you get by a lot easier.
Jake Shear wants to know what kind of Centurions.
Basically the grav amps with heavy bolters. I mean, sometimes I try to put the missile launcher on there, but I find myself forgetting to fire the missile launcher, so I just stick with heavy bolters and save myself some points.
Hurricane bolters.
Yeah, the bolters, whatever they are.
Bolter.
Yeah.
What do you think about Rob D over here? What do you think about using Be'lakor? I wanted to answer the Be'lakor question, but it's gone. We're going to Solo Falcon instead.
What do you think about using Be'lakor to give Shrouded to Slanesh Demon Princes with the Lash? That's the question.
Yes, that's a good tactic. I love Be'lakor. Be'lakor is my jam.
Yeah, he is the ultimate filler. It's like, what do you need? Be'lakor's got it.
Love him.
He is. He's an enabler. You don't have to guess. You could really plan a strategy around that guy, which is nice. Which is actually one of the, I think his biggest benefits is you could really just literally like I've got him. What else can I do? And the rest of my 1,500 points could be whatever I need to make him better.
He is basically in every single one of my chaos list right now.
Mm-hmm.
I heard my phone going off from the warp. I just don't know where I lost it.
Rob said he's having trouble at the store right now, so he'll be back later. Johnny says Logan and Thunderwolves are good. I mean, I'm digging the Thunderwolves. You get all those storm shields now.
Thunderwolves are good. They can all take specialist war gear and melee weapons now. So they can all take a power fist. They can all take whatever, and they got universally cheaper. So I think a Thunderwolf Cavalry is usable now.
Ooh, so I like William Bryce's question right here. He says, do you guys ever argue raw just for rules practice, even if you don't play that way? For example, SMS can't be fired at a target you can't see because you declare a target before selecting the weapon.
We talk about raw all the time, like between amongst ourselves, basically to know what we're going to encounter out there in the world. Like, because that's when you're dealing with gamers from all different regions and stuff, you only have what the actual text is as your Rosetta Stone.
Yep. And I'd also like to say, especially if you go, now he was talking about practice, but when you go to tournaments, look at the missions, find out if they have a fact, ask questions, do things, so you don't get there and all of a sudden feel blindsided that you're like, oh, I didn't know this was going to happen, I didn't know. You know, it is very easy just to contact somebody or even just doing your homework.
I agree with that too. I've been paying these catechins. Over the course of the last couple of days, I've actually got about 7 catechins complete with another 5 on deck. I got it down to a science now. I've been painting these Rambos for years.
Yeah. Real quick, I want to address the counterpoint real quick to the Fenrisian Wolf drop pod argument that's happening right now.
Okay.
Don S. over here, lone wolves and drop pods with Fenrisian Wolves. Page 104 says Fenrisian Wolves are treated as upgrades. And is treated as a single unit. Why not put them in a pod if they're single unit infantry? It's like, yes, they have guys who are infantry and guys who are beasts. And so you don't just get to say that a unit that has some beasts, some jump packs, and some bikes in it are just all jump packs. Every model is still his own man.
I agree with that. It's important to note that the models move like beasts on the tabletop. So, for instance, it's how you would go up ruins in 6th edition.
So, page 77, Fenrisian Wolves. Unit type, beasts. Go to your dedicated transport select section of your codex. It will tell you all the things that can go to drop pod. Infantry is listed, beasts are not.
Boom.
So, unfortunately, yes, they are a single unit with people who are infantry and people who are beasts. And unfortunately, the drop pod can't handle beasts for some reason.
What do you guys think about the Swift Claws and whatever kind of other claws getting rage?
Love rage.
Yeah, no, I think there's, you as a Space Wolf player have to decide in the beginning, like, hey, do we want to keep going to drop pod? Or I feel that they are going to be able to put down 70 power armor bodies better than they've ever done before. And they're going to be able to get across the board.
Yep.
So having rage is going to be super clutch whenever you only get half a unit there, and it still is putting out more than a full unit that you'll be attacking.
I could see that.
So our boy Justin Troop is asking. He's saying that he sees some of these new Grey Knight rumors, and he said they appeal fluffy to him, and it looks like they might be a solid ally choice. Because when you do ever see the mass amounts of Grey Knights in one spot, they are elite. So I agree. If I'm not mistaken, there was the rumors in the beginning when the new Grey Knight book came out that they were too good, and they had to tone them back some. So I'd like to see some of those days.
Also, I guess we should, since these people are watching right now, we should at least drop the top 3 lists from our event. I was just thinking.
Okay.
Just so you can see like what meta was creeping up on our first event.
Be right back, guys.
So you can go to our Facebook page and follow all the links and go to our YouTube page, and you can see that we broadcasted round 4, round 5 from our Forged Native event. You'll see that the winner of the event was playing Eldar with Night Titans. Yeah, he was running 2 Imperial Knights and 3 Wraith Knights, Wraith Knights.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're called?
Yep. He had double D cannons on him, and one of them had the Shimmer Shield. If I'm not mistaken, that's what it's called.
Yeah, he was using the Sun Cannon Beast mode. Mm-hmm. So interesting, really good list. The guy who came in second was playing Necrons with the Transcendent Satan, and the guy who came in third was playing Space Marines, man. Like he was playing Sentinels of Terra, but still just basically Space Marines. So
yeah, he had like double Talon and a Raven in his list.
Yeah, he had that formation. He had that formation, the Sky Hammer, the Sky Talon formation, whatever it's called. Oh man. So yeah, so that's just interesting to see that. Had a lot of great people come out. I guess shout out to John Sang kicking it. He drove all the way from Ohio. Our friend, good friend now, Matt Reed. He came out all the way from Texas.
All the way from Texas, his first tournament. Glad to have him out.
Really good guy. And another guy who came out, drove all the way from South Carolina, was Daryl Bubble Jellick.
There we go.
And his brother Josh.
Yeah, let me tell you, those guys bring the best South Carolina peach tea.
Yeah,
if you know what I mean.
Yes, I do know what you mean. For some reason, those peaches tasted like ethanol alcohol. I don't know.
It tasted like blindness.
I don't know.
The sweet, sweet taste of blindness.
Oh, Don S. real quick wants to know if we ever find room for RJack, a.k.a. Lysander's baby.
RJack is cheaper, so I mean he needs to be in there. I mean,
RJack. Literally, if you ran in your Space Wolf list, RJack and a squad of 3 Thunder Cav with Storm Shields, you basically just gained 125 points just off those 2 units.
If you play, yeah.
Like straight up. I mean, how happy was I whenever I came out with the NIDS? A lot of people were hating on it, but I was like, yo, seriously, I have my exact same list plus 2 monstrous creatures. Like,
yeah, anytime you're playing something that you've been holding down with and you get more stuff, that's how I'm looking at it with the Super Friends. I'm like, I'm not feeling like I lost something. I feel like I've gained something. So I'm really excited to start playtesting some of these.
I mean, let's think about how much Strength 10 you could put in a Space Wolf list. Like with Kenny, were you talking about that the Iron Priest can now get Thunderwolf mounts, and they're elite choices, right? So you can take 3 of them.
3 of them.
Or 2 of them, and then RJack, for instance. You know, because he goes in, he's an elite choice now, isn't he, too? Right? Like, yeah.
Well, I mean, if points weren't an issue, I mean, you could literally take 18, 19, 20.
No, I'm talking about in an actual 2,000 point list. You could take like some Swift Claws and then 2 Iron Priest on Thunder Wolves with Thunder Hammers and all these extra wounds, and then you got RJack coming down in a pod with some other Thunder Hammer Storm Shield Terminators.
3 Lone Wolves.
Yeah, I mean that's a bunch of Strength 10 that you could effectively deliver to the enemy.
You can do a 1,000-point Thunderwolf squad with I want to say something like 40 Strength 10 attacks.
Man, Strength 10 has never been so strong. So it's kind of like a give and take thing, right? So they took away basically the Bear Lord for all intents and purposes, but they have spread out.
Oh my god, dude! You can do 6 Thunderwolves, all Storm Shield, all Strength 10 Power Fists, joined by 3 Tech Priests or Iron Priests with the Server Harness on Thunderwolves with 12 Cyberwolves.
Yeah.
So yes, giving them a Blade of Wounds, and that'll be 9 guys with 5 attacks. 45 Strength 10 attacks.
45 Strength 10 attacks. I've heard that's good.
I mean, what doesn't that beat down?
And then you put a dude with a bike in there, a Wolf Priest with a bike in there, so they all preferred enemy.
Okay, I mean, I'm asking. This is a serious question. It's not
literally kills everything.
Doesn't that beat down? I mean, how many knights does that beat down?
All the knights.
Yeah, unless they get that lucky 6 stomp.
That's true.
Then you got problems.
Well, he'll kill a couple of your guys.
Yeah.
The good thing is that because they're on that size of base, it's not like you're going to be able to put it over everybody. Like, you'll get 2.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Johnny Wack is asking what do we think about the new Hellfrost weapons. What do y'all think about that? It's what it is that you take a string test for every wound suffered, and if you fail, you're removed as casualty.
I'll explain it like this. I know that every time that I'm going to be called to make this strength check, I'm going to fail. So I feel terrible about it.
Right.
Like, right. I know it doesn't matter. I am strength 12. I still will fail this.
Yep.
So if anybody out there wants to know how to beat me with Space Wolves, like literally just make me take some strength checks. Game over. I was happy to see Jaws got fixed, where obviously monstrous creatures just automatically pass this test. Because guess what happened every time I got hit by Jaws?
Dead.
A Keeper of Secrets, initiative 1 million, dead. Doesn't matter. Somehow this little crack opened and he didn't see it.
Tripped in it.
Yep. Ed Black wants to know why the rest of the Imperium is sitting on the sidelines with these oversized 3-up storm shields. Obviously because the rest of the universe is not on a snow-infested planet. It is the only way that you get oversized storm shields. And you have to call it Oreo Blizzard.
Of the wolf.
Of the murder wolf.
Of the murder chili wolf. There you go. Jake says he's going to order some Thunderwolves, and I can't say he's wrong to do so. They're cool looking models. They got cool bits. I mean, it's a nice looking kit. I love those Thunderhammers in there. The ones that are the twist. Basically, they got diamond heads essentially.
Oh my god!
I really like them.
I think I broke it. I just made the best list ever.
Sweet.
So I was just like, so 6 Thunderwolves, all Power Fist, all Storm Shields, with the 3 Tech Priests, all Thunderwolves, all with all four Thunderwolves each, with the guy that gives them Preferred Enemy on bike.
Okay.
With 2 minimum Blood Claw Squads and Rhinos, multi-catted in with White Scars for the Stallion who mounts the world on bike joined to them, and 4 Landspeeder Storms with Scouts in it, with Meltas and Melta Bombs.
That sounds like a good list.
So we have six troop choices, so 12 objective score units, and the most ridiculous unit on Earth that has hit and run and Preferred Enemy. It's right now I'm at 1980. Well, I feel like I could drop a land speeder and we can do 1850 if we want to.
Yeah, I'm sold.
I'm basically playing this forever now. This is my new list.
I don't know how many Thunderwolves I've got, but we'll see.
All right, so Rob D has got a question for you, Kenny. He wants to know, is there a strong tactic for using Fleshhounds of Khorne? The best that I can think of is invisibility is obviously really good. The lack of high strength with low AP is a drawback.
Talk about
Herald of Juggernaut with the greater Ether Blade for strength 7 on the charge.
What's exactly is the question? Is it just?
So he just wants to know is there a good tactic for using Fleshhounds?
Well, yeah, I mean, like,
does he need to add in a Juggernaut to get some high strength, low AP with that?
Okay, well, we already talked about Be'lakor, so basically, if you run like 40 Fleshhounds, 2 units of 20, screaming up the middle with Be'lakor on your list. Just Shroud. That's basically the simplest way you can do it, man. Like, hey, nothing's going to stand up to 40 Fleshhounds, you know what I mean, on an average day, as long as it's not going up against this new unit we just described.
Because he will not have an average day then.
No, you're going to die. But basically 40 Fleshhounds and Be'lakor, there's enough points to support that with about 18 power dice in the backfield and 2 to 3 Stone Grinders. So, essentially, you can be moving forward with Be'lakor, who saunters, popping Shroud on all these guys, give them 2 and 3 plus cover, while you're making a new unit of Fleshhounds or 2 new units of Fleshhounds every turn. Like, there's not a lot of armies that can actually beat an army like that.
Yeah.
If played properly.
Plus the ability for spawning more.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, basically, this list I just said can make 5 to 10 Fleshhound turn on top of your 40. You still have like 2 or 3 Soul Grinders like camping in the midfield or backfield.
Keegan Butler's asking. He said he thought the servo arm was just strength 8, and I think that was
it is
back. No, well, it's strength times 2.
Strength times 2. Yes.
It's strength times 2, so it's not strength 8, strength times 2. I believe in a previous fact it was like it gave the profile 1 attack, strength 8.
Yeah, back in the day it had a profile. Now it is simply unwieldy, melee, specialty, times 2 strength, AP 2. But he has a Thunderhammer. So you're never even going to swing at the Sword Harness, you're going to swing at the thing that gives you concussive.
Yeah, just pointed out that it is no longer just that fixed profile anymore. It has its strength times 2. I want to point out something that we have not even talked about, the new transport, the new flyer, the 16 model transport. That hasn't factored into any of this yet.
Man, it's been so dead to me for the first little bit.
Yep. I mean, I'm thinking it's got some serious Battle Brother potential, but with that pod, does that pod just nullify it? The pod make that kit, not as cool anymore?
It's tough for me right now to. That's basically where I'm at. It's like everybody that I would want to put in there, I basically can just get in a couple pods. That's just how I feel right now. I don't know. That'll change, and this is just for the list setups that we're talking about. Like if I'm a Space Wolf player and I've got all the models, like I think that something where you've got 60 boots on the ground, 50 boots on the ground, and then that's where you've got massive table presence, board presence, and then you obviously standard Sky Shield with the inertial guidance thing or whatever it's called, where you can start on the board. This gives you some backfield presence to drop some guys off where you need them throughout the game, instead of just having a single drop pod come down with guys. Like if you go the drop pod, like we keep saying, you have to have multiple drop pods, because if not, you can just drop down and be out of place. But here, it's a different delivery system where you can be where you need to be, kind of when you need to be there.
I agree. How many Freezing Wolves were in that list, Kenny?
Can you hear me right now?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just can't see you. I'm like typing it up. That list has three priests or 3 Iron Priests with 4 Cyber Wolves each.
Yeah, how interesting that they get 4 Cyber Wolves.
Say what?
It's very interesting that they get 4 Cyber Wolves.
Yeah, dude, it's crazy. And a Cyber Wolf has 3 base attacks and 4+ armor save.
Yeah, it's no joke.
Dude, that's such an ablative screen that you have to get through these 12 wounds before you're even allowed to make me take my first other save. And then you can put your Iron Priest up right behind them, so you start just spamming that 2-up saves.
Yep.
And look out, storing them to whatever you need to. And then you run on this unit. I'm pointing it up right now for an 1850, like a real shot at 1850. This could be the new Super Friends.
Did you catch that the runic armor gives 6+ immutable now also?
Yeah.
Yes. Also, here's something that nobody else is thinking about right now. The Wolf Priest has Healing Balm, which is the unit gets 6+ feel no pain.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff that adds to feel no pain, like Sanctuary, or invulnerable saves.
This whole unit, like every 6th wound, I got it all free now.
Ben, I'm sorry, I don't have your question, homie. If you will redo it, I don't know what's happened to it. I'm trying to go through everything.
Is asking, would a group of friends in the Stormwolf benefit from the Wolves Unleashed rule of auto come in on turn 2? I can't imagine that they wouldn't. I haven't read that rule though. Is that in one of the supplements, or is that in here?
What's the name of the rule? I'm looking up real quick.
The Wolves Unleashed. Is that one of the special character special rules?
Wolves Unleashed.
Is that like Blackmane's one of his?
I'm looking for it. Okay, it's the detachment. It's the detachment with the where you get to roll, and on a d6 on a 6. No, it's in this detachment. So it does not. Is the question would it benefit for is allied attachments?
Yeah. Well, if it was in one of the transports purchased from this this detachment, and if it comes in, I'd say yeah.
Yeah. So if you have a troop, because I know in that if you're a troop choice, you get +2 to the roll. So he's saying, I guess maybe if you are a troop choice with all these guys attached to it, and then it being there, I mean, the unit still has the rule, I would say.
Okay, well, I think there's a restriction on how you outflank now. I don't think you can just shove anybody in there when you outflank.
Gotcha.
Well, it's not. Is it outflanking?
Yes, it's literally outflanking. That's the thing.
Oh no! On a 6+, the unit has the outflank rule.
Yes.
Yeah, and troop choices get +2 to that.
Yeah. Well, yeah, adding +2 to the result. Well, deployment roll D6 for each unit and detachment, adding +2 to the result if it's a troops. Yeah, on a 6+, it gets outflank. It's a unit.
Yeah.
So I say yeah.
But I think on the USR for outflank, I think all models have to have outflank. I don't think you can shove.
Well, I'm gonna check that out right now.
Evan S.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yep, Evan S. just asked, is that all the many questions about the summer seasonal? But the first one is, who claimed the best NID player? Evan S., I have bad news to report that not a single NID player decided to show up and win the event. I talked to all the NID players. They said that they wouldn't just auto steamroll everybody, that it would be safer to let somebody else win. So they kept their NIDs at home.
That's what happened.
All right, so Ben has reposted his question. Let me get to this before it goes anywhere. Oh, yes. And actually,
can I jump in here for a second, Juice?
Yes, please.
During deployment, players can declare that any unit that contains at least one model with the special rule attempting to outflank the enemy. This means they are making a wide sweeping move to get behind enemy lines to come at the foe from an unexpected direction. That contains at least one model.
Okay, so the opposite of the way I chose to interpret it.
I'm just saying we have these holy texts that we can occasionally refer to.
Or we can make up stuff.
We can. Yeah, right. Yeah. We've gotten by a lot.
There we go. All right, guys, I need some help. Actually, I took a picture of Ben's question because he was asking about some IA stuff, and I just couldn't answer it. And our tech priest, Rob Beasy, is not here with all the books, so maybe you guys can help Ben out. He wants to know, it was just to do with Forge World army lists such as the Orc Dread Mob list from IA 8. Counts as allies for orcs, or can they be a separate CAD?
I don't have
That's
that.
a hard question.
I don't own that book.
I'm thinking that it most likely cannot be because it's his own special army list, and I don't know if Forge Rules is the fact for that. They did a lot of their up to 7th edition yet. So
Ben, I promise I will do a little more research and see if we can narrow it down, but I'm pretty sure I agree. I don't think Forge World has released any detachments yet.
Evan wants to know if did I lose your Juice?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
I'm sorry, you cut it out.
That could be. Is that prize going to be available at the next seasonal?
100%.
Nice.
Yep. So Evan S., I expect to see you in January, baby. I actually just got a question in via text. My boy OBJ Tim wants to know with the Space Wolf decks, is it the same style setup as the Orc decks? And yes. It is.
Basically every page is a data slate. Yeah.
Yep. I have to admit, the change aspect of that, of looking at a codex the same way for 14 plus years, it took me some getting used to.
Yeah, me too.
I'm always used to seeing this section, but always used to being able to go to another section and get some other information. And that other page does not exist anymore.
All right, so I made it 1850.
Okay, real quick. I'm sorry. Let me just to let Ben know. Chris Gardner has just given us some information that Forge World FAQ allowed the Dread Mob as allies to orcs as well as its own list / CAD.
Very cool.
Thanks, Chris. Sorry, Kenny, go ahead.
So 1850, Wolf Priest on bike for preferred enemy, 6 Thunderwolf Cavalry guys with Power Fist Storm Shield each, 3 Iron Priests on Thunderwolves, all with 4 Cyberwolves, 2 units of Blood Call and Rhino. allied with white scars, Stallion who mounts the world, 3 scout squads and Lance Cedar Storms.
Heavy flamers on those?
They all have heavy flamers.
Seems very solid.
And that's 1850 on the dot.
I like it. Chandler Dogs is filling in for the rest of the rules that we apparently missed. I think you can do what you're asking. By the way, I do think you can do. You're talking about the outflank and stuff with things inside the Stormwolf.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that is possible.
Yeah, I think it's been affirmative now.
Yep, and Kenny, that list is pretty strong. That's just a lot of in-your-face tactics, like we appreciate.
Let me just tell you, my Tyranids on top of my Sky Shield do not feel safe.
Yeah,
the Sky Shield is not tall enough.
Yeah, that's a lot of wounds. Even in close combat, that's a lot of wounds to have to eat through.
Yep. I just want you to know my tactic against that is going to be just buying a second Sky Shield and stacking them on top of each other. You heard it here first.
I thought you were going to put all your gaunts inside Stormfang.
Yep.
And then fly away.
Yeah, that's our thing. We do 2 CADs, buy 2 Sky Shields, and stack them on top of each other.
Oh, yeah, you can never assault me.
Never. So I guess it's time to talk about this other list that Juice and I talked about all weekend.
Oh, yes.
We got 8 minutes. You want to say that for the podcast and just bang out some more of these questions if we can?
I do, yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think it's a good list. I do like it. We talked a good bit about wolves. We're going to be definitely doing some more wolf building.
I'm sorry I've been so distant on this episode. It's just I'm so excited for Thunderbolts.
Whatever, doing your thing. It's basically I really like it asks the question, how many string 10 attacks can you get? Let's figure that out. And it seems like you can actually build a list.
Yeah, we just did. Seems like a lot.
All right. So Paul is wanting to know, Juice, you were talking about 6 tyrants, aka Love, at 1850. Got any details? Yes, it's 6 flying hive tyrants with wings, twin-link devourers, and electroshock grubs. Triple catted, that is, with a Sky Shield landing pad, a venom throat, and 6 squads of 3 Ripper swarms, and the list still has 52 points left, if I'm not mistaken.
Can you get 4 gaunts for that?
Yeah, you can take a whole nother squad of 10 gaunts. Yeah, for the remaining 54 points, there's still a lot to be had. I'd probably end up taking a single Biovore. It's real love. So
the war game is asking if you just picked up a Space Wolf Dread. Did we answer this question already? How should he equip the Space Wolf Dread?
We have not answered that.
It's tough. I mean, I think if you don't have a Bjorn already, then you're probably going to want to be because he's the established basically Space Wolf religion. But if you're just building one for functionality, man, how could you not build the Murder Fang with the Murder Claws and the Murder Lust?
Yeah.
Yeah. All I want all my Dreadnoughts to have is Blizzard Shields, Murder Weapons. The kit is great, by the way. If you haven't checked out the video on Spiky Bits, there's a Boxing Unleashed.
I think it's awesome.
And there's a guest to that video, yours truly.
But let's talk about Bjorn. So his strength 10, all the profile, nothing can lower it is strength 10 AP2.
Yeah, Bjorn is a bad man, and he's cheaper.
Mastercrafted shred. And you take his weapon that he takes. He can also take a Hellfrost cannon.
Yeah, Hellfrost cannon all the way.
He could get lucky and kill a flying high tyrant on the way in to kill something else.
So aggro, man.
So nice.
Yeah, no, he is. In my opinion, he is.
He gives a +1 to seize the initiative. So
and that is a brand new first strike. No, excuse me, it's not a brand new rule, but it is as good of a rule as there is to give for a special one right now. Yeah, how important it is to go first?
He's got an invulnerable save. He's got strength 10 attacks. He's got +1 to seize the initiative. He doesn't suck. And he's venerable, so he's got the venerable rule. You know, all for a base of the cost of 220 points, but it's a lot wrapped up in there.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan. If you don't have a Bjorn, make a Bjorn. If you already do, make the Blizzard Shield, Frost Axe. That's goofy enough to make work.
Okay, so Lou, what's happening, brother? Lou wants to know, or Lewis, excuse me. Apologize if this has already been asked. It hasn't, by the way. Codiez disappears from the Grey Knight Codex. Or if Codiez does, is he still worth it from the Inquisition book without giving objective secure to the henchmen warbands?
It depends on what your army. If you build your army around these Centaurian stars, you need him still. Like because I don't think they took away what we've been expecting you, did they?
I think the only thing is his Lord of Formosa changed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he still has. If you have any super good shooty unit, he's still amazing. That the fact that he's 100 points and he brings 2 psychic power warp charge points to your army, and has 3 wounds and a 2+ save, and that he makes your unit infinity shoot things that arrive within 12 inches of him.
That's so strong. I mean, like especially with pods and things like deep striking and becoming a thing again.
Him plus 5 Centaurians means like you can literally kill 1,000 Space Marines if they just kept dropping within 12 inches. Like,
that's fun.
I mean, so good.
Well, guys, we're coming close to the end of the hour. I know we have not gotten every single question, but we tried to get to a bunch. I see there's a question here about Death Guard and Plague Marines and whether they take Traitor Guard to just become the Apocalypse allies. Why not? Get some Wyverns in there. That's what the Plague Marines need.
Or I've been saying it all weekend though to my boy Daryl Bobajelic. Just get Typhus and get 100 zombies. Just as much as I hate to say this, like stop taking Plague Marines. We need more aggressively pointed Plague Marines to make them come back.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Plague Marines. If you want to get the double, use the things that make them awesome. Like take a unit of the flying drones, the Plague drones. Blight, whatever the Blight drones. I'm sorry, I get them confused. Whatever the
if you're gonna take them, make sure you take them with a purpose.
Yeah. But zombies are the way where it's at. I mean, you're gonna win tons of games with objective secure zombies that you just move across the table.
Yeah.
They're
and
fearless.
speaking of objective secured, I want to hit Justin Troop with one comment here. Ragnar is what he's saying. Ragnar spammed out with Blood Claws, and the new Flyers is so cheap and gets stupid amounts of bodies. With objective secured all over the place, with strong hitting, fast moving, overwhelming units. I completely agree with all that.
Ready for takeoff.
Yeah, ready for takeoff is super good on top of Sky Shields. So good.
It is. It's super fresh. Oh man.
Yes,
I think I can't hear Paul. I think he might be talking right now.
Yeah, his camera might have looked like you got lost in the warp. I will actually do a meditating prayer and see if I can bring him back.
My name is
There it is. There it is.
Oh, nice. Thank you. I heard y'all. I'm sorry if I cut out for everybody. I want to thank everybody for joining us. We got lots of great questions, and it's always cool to talk about these new dexes. I can't wait to get back on the podcast on Wednesday. That's when we do our recording. So if you got any questions or want to submit anything for us to talk about, do it on the Facebook, please. If you have not already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and leave us like a really high-star review, and subscribe to us on YouTube. Anybody else got anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank everybody, man. Everybody was super active in the questionnaire tonight. It was awesome. Appreciate it, and keep them coming.
Juice, thanks a lot for holding it down this weekend. A lot of also without y'all. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Y'all guys have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.